I started talking, but for some reason the mic wasn't working. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie Podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining me, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
What?
Oh, we're doing a thing. And we're also your co-host, Hunter.
What's going on, everybody? Surprise!
Yeah, we were supposed to do we're supposed to interview the developer of Dual Universe, but he's in France. So we're going to have a 6 a.m. podcast.
Which French.
Which turned into a 7 a.m. podcast. Which turned into, we might do it a month from now podcast. So we're just kind of going. So we asked the community for some topics. Oh, hi, Joe. Sorry. Hi, Joe.
And if the guy that was supposed to be on here is from France, je peux faire le podcast en français.
Oh, God. Yeah, because you're Canadian.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm from Quebec.
Friends, if you don't remember Joe, he is the host of the Upper Memory Block podcast. We had him on. We tried to have him on a couple weeks ago to talk about old hardware, and that went horribly because you had apparently some outage.
Yeah, the internet just my internet has been solid for like 3 years straight, and of course, the one time I'm supposed to be on with you guys, it all goes to hell.
Typical.
Speaking of which, Steam just went down. There goes Tuesday night.
Oh well.
Oh, for God's sakes!
At least something broke.
For some reason, oh great, call graph is now starting and stopping and starting and stopping. I'm probably gonna have to use the YouTube. Anyway.
Keep eating and eating.
So yeah, we got we got a bunch of topics to talk about tonight. Joe is also going to be back in about a month because we're going to talk old hardware. I just wasn't ready to do that tonight because I'm learning how to use virtual audio cable, and I want to have these beautiful Roland units sitting right next to me actually live. So that would be wonderful if I can make that happen. So I'm still
maybe I'll try and pipe mine in too when we do that.
Oh, if you can, do you know how to use virtual audio cable?
Sure. I've got things, and I've got a Mac.
Oh, never mind. That doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help me at all.
It actually makes life easy. It's much easier on a Mac for some reason. If you buy things.
Yeah.
Big clicky buttons. Icons are pretty.
Yes.
And they're made of titanium. So we have a bunch of topics to talk about. So let's just get right to it. The first topic from Little Blue Robot on Twitter. Question: what are you dying to see/experience in upcoming space games? That's an interesting question. Very broad.
Space games?
That's the question. Yeah. What are you dying to?
That's my answer.
Oh yeah, more. I guess. Yeah.
As opposed to what do you mean?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. What are you dying to see? Experience? Free Space 3? No.
Free Space 3 confirmed.
I just want to get out of my ship and walk around. That's the theme of 2016 is getting out of the spaceship and walking around has fucked over Star Citizen. It has, like No Man's Sky. Like all these games, as soon as you get out of the ship, you fail. So don't get out of the ship. It's like Interstate 82, right? Never get out of the ship.
Never get out of the ship.
That's a very interesting concept, though, because I think some games like EVE Online, for example, have been talking about trying to do that for years, and all they
just kind of gave up, yeah.
And all they really did was just like, here's like a little room you can walk around by yourself, have fun.
But the problem with that is you get like games that try and do that, and it always ends up being two different games, and one game is always way better than the other game.
Yeah, except for Parkland 2, it gets in both parts right, in my opinion.
Because I'm thinking. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're thinking.
Okay, I'm thinking of like Star Trek Online. Like the space stuff is sort of fun, and the planet stuff is horrible, awful.
Right, but here's the problem with that. That's not a very like seamless transition, right? So you want to know what game that I can currently think of that actually did it, but you can't play it anymore?
What's that?
Anybody? Bueller?
Star Wars Galaxies? I don't know.
Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah. They actually, towards the end of life, before they shut down the servers, they actually made it available to where you could actually fly your ship around the surface, point that crap upwards, fly into space. Granted, it was a slight loading screen going into space, but you could do it. And now you can kind of do that with a few other games where you can like get in and out like Space Engineers and stuff like that. But The one game that I do remember actually doing it and actually worked and felt good to play was Star Wars Galaxies.
I never actually played that. By the time they by the time they implemented the space stuff, I was like, I have jump game. Why would I play this?
And I think because I was very resistant to MMOs at the time because I knew I would get sucked in.
Good.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting thing to like want to have. Like you want to be able to say like, hey, can I get out of my ship and go walk around and do these things? And you're seeing with the tech demo that is Star Citizen, they're trying to do that same thing, but whether they can deliver that on such a large scale is yet to be determined.
I mean, Starflight did it, sort of.
Kinda, but yeah.
You sort of get out of your ship. You just get into a little thing.
Yeah, you just get into a smaller ship.
Yeah,
really, but that's still awesome.
Right.
It's
an amazing game.
It's still awesome. And some games did allow you to do that, like the one I was playing a couple weeks ago, Alien Legacy. You had your big, huge arc ship, and you had your little drones that you could fly around. That was great.
All right, I figured it out. I know what I want from a space game.
Okay.
I want them to make a game like X Terran Conflict, but multiplayer with the capabilities of multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily like a MMO size, like maybe like up to 4 people can like whatever, or maybe like dedicated servers like you see with Evercron, for example. If they could make an X game that was multiplayer, I'd be excited.
Now, would you want EgoSoft to do this themselves, or someone to make an X-like game that happens to have co-op or something?
Right, something that's very similar to maybe one of the X games, not necessarily that company, but like to be able to do that.
Yeah, because I wonder if because X Rebirth was such a that maybe like. To placate the community, they'd be like, hey, the next one you can play with your friends. But they probably won't. I'm surprised they haven't tried X Online. I'm surprised they haven't even tried that.
That we were messing around with, and we just recently had the guy on, and I cannot remember.
Earth and Beyond?
No, I think you're thinking of that one that you can play on Android and
no, it's the one where you can build farms on the planet, and then
Ascent.
Ascent,
yes.
Oh yeah,
so,
Ascent. Yes.
So Ascent, I would play Ascent, except that the actual flight is very.
It's an odd system.
It's an odd
system. Like it has this anchor that doesn't always seem to work. It's a little. It feels inconsistent, and
if it used the flight mechanics like Everspace, right? Where you just flew the ship, third person, whatever, I would play the hell out of that game if it was that. Because it's got all the components that it needs for that, except it just does not have fun flying. And
it really doesn't.
I'm there to enjoy the flying. That's why I can still stand to play Elite, even though Elite does nothing but that. It's like Microsoft Flight Simulator. What story does Microsoft Flight Simulator have?
Here's how you're gonna fly to Detroit.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever story you want it to have.
Exactly.
I fly around the airport. I look. Oh, look! There's trees.
Honey, what did you do today? I flew to Hawaii.
See, this is why games like Privateer and Freelancer work, because they have a good mix. They have a good mix of open elements, but they still have enough linearity to pull you forward.
So here's my proposition. Everybody is into these survival games now, right? The survival, the crafting, the whatever.
I hate it.
Well, you know what? Let's do an entrepreneurial survival game. Like, you need to make money, or you're not going to be able to put gas in your ship, and then your game's over. So you better be able to make the ship payment, plus fill the gas tank, and how are you going to do it? Like, you better start trading or mining or doing something, because that bill's due at the first of the month. And then if you fail that, the repo guys are on you, right? So, I think you could make it a survival game. You just put pressure on the player. And exploration-y games like Elite, there's no pressure in Elite. That's the problem. There's no incentive to struggle against it, because all I'm doing is grinding money. And the game doesn't try to take anything from me. I just continue to heap things. And at the end, I just own a giant pile of stuff.
Right, that's how I feel too.
It's insurance when you get killed, and that's a minuscule amount. Now, if when you died in Elite, it took your ship and was like, "Here's your Sidewinder." Oh, well, that's a different game. But
Yeah, it's true.
Well, but
Yeah.
the problem also is
that's when you throw it against the wall.
There's also like no lockers like to store anything, so it's like here's your Sidewinder in this system like 30,000 light years away.
Oh no, you're dead. All your shit's gone. Permadeath. I would have went permadeath with it. Have you played the original Elite? The original Elite is just a fuck.
It gave no fucks. It gave no fucks about you or. God.
And that's what made it fun, right? Because it's like playing Pac-Man. It's like, oh shit, I got to the 10th level this time, and then I died, and then I start over again, right?
Yeah, you got really good at Mario Brothers World 1-1, right?
But you know there's going to be a contingent where if they can't get their exact ship back for a price, they're just going to quit. They're just not going to play it.
This game ain't for you. We don't need sissies here. Like, we're space gamers.
But isn't that
Which is good unless you need to sell games.
You know what? Then what you do is you allow the player the freedom to choose, right?
So you want to have a.
But you have two different. Well, here's my proposal to this is each mode that you can play that game in should be a distinct, different character that cannot interact with characters from the other modes. You can have as many characters as you damn want, though.
I do agree with this. I actually do agree with this. 100%.
So it's like if I want to play offline, or I want to play with a buddy. Offline private group, then that is a character. If I want to play online, that is a character, and that dude is permadeath. So if I want to have fun, I set my own server up, I make my own rules, I can move the sliders, and I can have the kind of fun I want, and I cannot bitch because combat's not hard enough. Well, I'll slide that slider up and make the AI smarter, right? It's like, I wish they hadn't nerfed the AI down because they made them dumb, and now I'm shooting fish in a barrel again. Why? Because you have to appease the mass market, and so many people, it's the vocal minority gets in the forum, they make so much noise that the developers are like, oh my god, everybody hates it. And it's like, no, it's only like 20 people, but they won't shut up, so that, I think at that point it's the 80-20 rule. You can afford to fire 20% of your customers. Just let the bitches go away and then please the 80% that are left. But I don't know. I think the win-win is just let me have private instanced and public, two separate characters, and in my private instance, I can do any damn thing I want, but it doesn't affect
kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I can have my friends in, right? You can have 100 friends in your game. I don't care. It's like those Mobius guys, right? They you join Mobius, and it's a private friend list, and if you engage in PvP, they kick you out. So therefore, everybody's clean. It's a cooperative experience. Nobody's in there PvPing anybody. And hey, that's great. And you get in there and you make a lot of friends, and everybody cooperates and whatever. But there's no mutual community goal to do, right? It's just like, you pass each other like, hey, morning, Bob, I'm docking, whatever.
That's one thing I think Evercron did right is when you're playing multiplayer, you all have like this, if you're in the same system, you basically like, oh, we all have the same goal. Let's go. I think they did that really well in that one.
Yep.
But you kind of touched on another topic that someone, who recommended this one? Oh, Mark over on Facebook. He wanted to talk about how shitty crafting has gotten in a lot of games.
I don't know about necessarily how shitty crafting has gotten. Are we talking specifically just space games?
Not necessarily, but he mentioned two games specifically. He mentioned No Man's Sky and what was the other one? We Happy Few, which apparently...
Well, the thing about No Man's Sky is it's technically not a crafting game. I mean, yes, there is a little bit of a crafting element to it, but that's not the purpose of the game. It's not like, where there is major crafting elements, say in games like Skyrim or something like that. Do you follow with what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like the crafting in No Man's Sky really isn't like that big of a deal. It's just all you're really doing is mining the same types of elements that will like make a whole bunch of things. But like the crafting mini game really, to me, just doesn't make it a crafting game. It's more of an exploration game than anything. I don't know. Like, I feel like the crafting element of that game just it's not like what you're supposed to be concerned with.
Yeah, it could just be like, here's a bag, go out and collect 1,000 diamonds, and bring them back, and we'll give you a new ship.
And those 1,000 diamonds could make like a whole shit ton of stuff. So it's just like it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, have you played Subnautica, Brian? If you haven't played Subnautica, you need to play.
That's a crafting game.
I have not, because I don't like crafting in survival games.
Oh no, that's a little different though. This one is actually very interesting because it's an exploration game where it's like, wow, there's a bunch of really weird alien fishies in this place. And it's a hostile environment, but it's a hostile environment that you very much understand because it's the ocean, right? Like we've always dealt with, there's water. It's scary. You can die in it. There's crazy stuff, and it's dark down there. But to get the resources to continue to live, you have to go down there. So it's kind of a, like how long can you keep your game going kind of thing.
Well, and the
but it's
interesting
not
thing
high
about
pressure.
Well, the thing that's interesting between those two games, like Subnautica and No Man's Sky, is Subnautica you're actually crafting and like building stuff, building things that like an actual living environment to live in underwater. As we're with No Man's Sky, you're not really building anything that's of value. Like there's nothing that
you're just upgrading your ship and making money, and you
like, that's
open
all you do.
Backpack.
Right, like I'm thinking of games like I played Terraria for a while, and that is, I guess, is more like a pure crafting survival type game.
Right.
And it was fun for a while, and then I got tired of it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're really
Starbound, Minecraft, any of those games are crafting games.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Starbound is essentially No Man's Sky, except with a much better building mechanic, and it's got a better story, and it's better everything except for the graphics.
Actually, it has a story. That's the thing.
Yeah, and AC Wraith says Subnautica, from what he's heard, is No Man's Sky done right.
Yep.
Yes.
And also has the same multiplayer.
Well, it's got to be popular.
There, frustration.
It's got to be popular. There are 1,500 people playing it right now.
It's about to be 1,501 as soon as Steam boots up. I talked myself into it.
I'll get it on the next sale.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It's
Steam did wake back up.
It's not $60 worth it, but it is worth it.
Yeah, and the developers on it, some of those guys are the same dudes that are behind what is that thing? Natural Selection 2.
Which is a very good game. It's a very
yeah.
So sorry.
But anyway, so it's a kind of a mixed thing there, and they have a Desera. Is it Desera? What's the Discord? I'm sorry, not Desera. Discord. They have a Discord.
Oh, you're talking about Subnautica now. I thought you were talking about
No, the Subnautica guys have a Discord server, and you can go in there and just hang with the devs all day, and while they're building stuff. Yeah, a lot of dev teams are starting to do that, and a lot of dev teams should start to do that. Chris Roberts.
I should do that at work. I'd get nothing done.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Chris Roberts
and Derek Smart. I just want to get Derek and Chris in a chat room together.
Oh Lord!
And
I could only imagine though
with fake names.
The Cloud Imperium Discord channel.
Oh God! Oh God!
Be pandemonium.
So I guess to answer Little Blue Robot's question, we want more choice. Is basically what we want to see. Is more choice in how we play our own the games we play.
All I want is Squadron 42. The way they pitched it to me like 2 years ago. 4 years ago, sorry.
Or even the way it was pitching 2 years ago was better than the way it's pitching today.
Or what was the game that Chris Roberts did before?
Freelancer?
What was the one that came out in like 2000 or 2003 or something like that?
Freelancer. Yeah, Freelancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the game.
Freelancer, bro.
He's trying to make Freelancer again, but like what he promised. I don't know. There's like a guy in a YouTube video that broke down everything that Chris was trying to do with Freelancer and how that game was actually supposed to be out in like '98, but it like got pushed back and other crazy shit.
Yeah, I went to a Microsoft gaming conference in early 2000, and they showed what was to become a Freelancer, and it was not the same game that we actually got. It was very different than what actually ended up in the box. It was much more detailed.
They had to cut a whole bunch of features just to get it to
a ton.
Ship the game.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. This isn't surprising because that happened there. That happened with Strike Commander.
Yeah,
back in the day.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like this is and I guess before it was manageable because he had to.
Answer to a publisher,
right?
yes, exactly. But now he is the publisher. Oh no! Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes when the guards go away and you let the inmates run the asylum, nothing gets done.
You see what they learn why it's difficult to be a publisher.
And yeah, Chris has a good point on YouTube. Why we can't buy Freelancer digitally is a crime. I mean, they have a remastered Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Rise of Nations.
Right.
Who
like
published
who's got
Freelancer?
it tied up?
Microsoft.
Oh, it's Microsoft. Wow. Yeah, we should get that.
Yeah, there's a lot of games we should get, but we won't. I'm still looking at you, Activision, and all those like Star Trek Armada games. But you know, hey, I'll be okay.
I'm sure GOG is working feverishly.
I just want Rise of Legends, you guys. That's all I want. And Cloud Academy. But Rise of Legends, because the disc version doesn't work very well. It's really sad.
Yeah, I need more Gowron. Glory to you at your house.
Yes, thank you.
Well done.
So
well done.
but you gotta bug eye it. You have to like
Crazy eyes.
bug eye the crazy out of it.
We do not forgive. Eyes or forget.
Exactly.
Did they put some kind of a prosthetic on that guy to make his eyes pop out?
No. He
that's
actually,
how it looks.
I read he actually got the job because he could do that.
He started out on Next Gen. He played Gyron on Next Gen before the Deep Space Nine stuff.
Yeah. He got the job because he had those crazy eyes. That's what I read. And it worked because you remember him for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Chris on YouTube lost the files to what? Freelancer? Oh, that'd be a tragedy.
We can fix you, Chris.
That'd be a tragedy if they lost the files to Freelancer. Because then there's
It would
like,
be about a 10-second inconvenience because I have the files to
Fix you.
Freelancer.
wait, what?
They can be yours.
Oh, that shit's compiled. You can't use that.
What?
Yeah. You can't use already compiled stuff. You need the code.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
that.
that.
Oh, you
that-
mean he had the files to Freelancer? What?
And they're gone.
Oh, Chris is
They-
saying a lot of times when there's an old game that we want resurrected, they lost the files, quote
Or
unquote.
something. Someone had them
like-
all some-
Like Cataclysm, like Homeworld Cataclysm, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, the files are like, huh?
Speaking of Cataclysm,
Yes.
if you go into the Facebook group for Homeworld 3,
Yeah.
they are talking in there a lot about all of the Homeworld Easter eggs that are buried in No Man's Sky. Apparently,
What?
Hello Games is a big fan of that stuff. So you know
Huh.
the beast or whatever the hell they called it. It was it was basically the viral Borg that infested ships. And
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's in No Man's Sky. There's
Oh.
reference to it because you find something that's infected, and yeah.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's little Easter eggy things in there.
But yeah. So, I guess that's what we're dying to see. Little Blue Robot is more choice in how we play our own games. Basically, if we want to be able to instance with just ourselves, we want to do that. If we want to play with 4 people and get out of our ship and run around and smack each other around and do a little dance, we want to do that too.
Well, because like let's look at games like I don't know, Borderlands or Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 for that matter, where you had your own world that you could play in, but you can
invite people in, yeah.
Mhm.
and they can join you on this little question. I'm looking at you, Skyrim, because you should do this too. But I mean, I guess we got like the Elder Scrolls Online, so I guess that's a little bit of an okay.
Which is pretty awesome and offers a different enough experience that they
Right, but I
complement each
haven't
other.
played ESO. But is it kind of like everyone, or is it like a standard MMO, or
It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It's very Skyrim-y.
It's very Skyrim-y, and the interesting thing is they do the instancing in a very unique way. Like I could be sitting here watching like explosions happen, and you could stand right next to me and not see what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's very strange how they do it.
Very interesting how they do it. It's really cool. So like if I'm working on one quest and you're close by working on another one, we see almost different things, even though we're in like the same island.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like kind of hardcore the phasing concept that they started doing in WoW a while back.
I guess so,
but,
yeah.
But like with WoW, they phase you out. Like you don't see the other people really.
Right.
This you still do.
Oh, okay. So you see everyone, but everyone is seeing different things.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, like someone might have a quest to light a boat on fire, but you haven't gotten that quest yet, so the boat's not on fire. But
so
to
someone's just
them,
running around doing stuff around nothing.
kinda, yeah. But they're running around doing stuff, and then
So
you're running around doing stuff.
It's like you're sharing the world, but you're not really. So in other words, if you have to go and kill 15 guys in order to save another man's life for whatever quest line you're on, it doesn't ruin it for the other person who's also like maybe gonna have to get that quest in the next 5 seconds, and there's not a whole bunch of dead guys he's got to wait to have respawn there.
Yeah, right.
But
The,
but I've
the lineup for the mob that you have to kill.
but I've also seen certain times where if you're doing a quest at the same time someone else is, and that you're doing the same quest,
And you're partied up.
you're not even. I was
really?
playing the other day, and like we all had to we had to kill this one guy, and there were like 10 of us, and we're like, when's this guy gonna spawn? I don't know, but he spawned, and we all killed him. And we all got the credit for it for our quest. We're all on the same quest at the same time. It was great. But they make it very clear what's a solo instance and what's a group instance, but it's still very Skyrim-y. Like you could I almost have entirely soloed ESO, and it's so great. It's
Yes,
so
Chris,
great.
I agree with you. That's why Guild Wars 2 was fun too.
I can't click with Guild Wars 2. I can't. I've tried.
It's its own beast, and I completely understand why you can't.
Yeah, I love the world. I love the world it's trying to create. It's so vibrant and alive, but it's just for some reason it hasn't clicked with me yet. But someone told me to start the Thief. It's a much more active character, so I'm trying that. Yeah, where were we?
So that's what the conclusion is really being able to have options with our games, like be able to bring a friend along for the journey or go into your friend's world, because it's like with Fallout 4. Why am I building this giant base just for myself? Like why can't I share that with someone? Jim's mentioned this I don't know how many times.
But the nice thing is smaller indie games sometimes are doing that. Like you have Void Expanse, you have Drox Operative, you have Evercrown Legacy, where they do allow you that kind of persistence with your friends. So it does exist. It's just it's limited. Like the amount of games that do that sort of thing are limited. That's the downside. I guess what we'd like to see is more games that allow that kind of freedom in how we play it. Do we want to do single player? Do we want to do multiplayer? Do we want to play with one friend, or 3 friends, or 5 friends? So yeah, I guess that's what we want is more choice, which is true. And hopefully more games will give that to us. Maybe in 10 years when Star Citizen finally comes out. So what's the next question? Scott Strauss on Twitter wants to know what obscure games or mods we should all be playing.
Obscure?
That's the word, obscure. Like what are some obscure games / mods we should be playing?
There's a really obscure mod for Homeworld of all things.
What?
That's called the Complex mod. And it's very different. It really changes the dynamic of the game a lot. Like it adds a solar system. Like there's a solar system map that you can play on with like the Earth solar system, for example. And you can actually like colonize different planets, and like if you colonize a planet, it actually adds resources to your resource pool, and it like stretches the game out and almost turns it into like a 4x-ish, not a true 4x, but it gives a lot of similar elements to it. I find that really obscure for Homeworld, because it's nothing like you've ever seen with like, usually it's just like build a bunch of stuff and fight.
Right.
So, that's pretty obscure to me, at least.
I'm playing an obscure game this week that you can play. It's called Starships Unlimited. The original game came out in 2001. The version I'm playing came out in 2005. And it really is one of the more unique 4X games I've ever played. Like, on the same level as Soar of the Stars, in how unique and interesting and fun and amazing it is. And you can get it from Matrix Games for $20. Sadly, it's not on Steam, but maybe someday. Maybe. That's pretty obscure, because I almost didn't remember it. Anybody else? That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I really can't think of any obscure mods or games.
Maybe it's not super obscure, but the Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse mod, which is
Oh, I haven't played.
Yeah,
I
would say
haven't
that's
played
pretty
that yet. I haven't played that yet, but I hear it's amazing.
It's better than anything. Well, let's put it this way: it's better than Dawn of War 3 from everything I've seen of Dawn of War 3. It's like, yeah, we had Titans like in 2009, whatever. What are you guys bringing? Yeah, Dawn of War 3, by the way, does not look good to me. It looks like Diablo instead of a Dawn of War game. It's much more MOBA, right? They seem to be going for this League of Legends, Dota kind of feel in it. And
I'm surprised has there been a Warhammer Diablo style game? I can't think of one. What was that?
I can't remember what the name of it was, but yes. And there's another one that's coming.
Was it good?
That's why you probably haven't heard of it.
Because I love Diablo style games. Grim Dawn, Titan Quest, bring them on.
Survey says no.
I'd love one in Warhammer, but
It's Warhammer 40k Inquisitor is
What?
the upcoming Diablo for Warhammer.
Upcoming.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I'm just scrolling through my Steam list, seeing if anything jumps out at me. But I realize that I am such a loser, like mainstream gamer, and I hate mods. I don't know why. I have this weird thing where when I'm playing.
Man, if you like Star Trek, Joe, you need to play the Armada 3 mod for.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've heard you guys talk about that so many times.
Dude, you have.
it's so good. It's so good.
Klingon Academy mod for Armada 2.
It's literally like playing a Star Trek game. Like it's so good.
Yeah, like something like that I'd be okay with, like if it's really well done. But I guess for me, it's like I always go in and I'm like, oh, mod. It's like not going to be like the normal game, and it's going to be janky, and it's going to be low budget. And I know some of them are super awesome, like that one. I know for sure. Like I've seen a million videos of it and everything. I just can't bring myself to do it, but I will. I got to do that one of these days.
Give me access to your computer and I'll just do it for you.
Nice.
So this Inquisitor game, not only does it look great, it's made by the same folks who made Van Helsing and Death Trap, which are both just fantastic games, both of them. So I need this in my life, like today, like right now. I need this right now. Just like make it someone make it happen, please. Because
Actually, they are. It's people.
I mean today. I mean right now. I want it right now. I want it today. I want to play. I want to just cut the podcast off and go play this. Right now. But yeah, folks, it's called Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. And that sounds amazing. Holy shit. I'm just reading about this. This sounds amazing.
What do you got next, man?
Here's what I want. The thing number one on my want list right now is I want for
Half-Life 3.
No. Well, that's another thing you were talking about, Half-Life mod. Why has nobody made Half-Life 3 yet? Just fucking make it.
Because Valve has to do it and they won't.
No, Valve doesn't. Just make it, man. Just somebody do it. Continue that story. Right?
Did you guys see that thing at the Gamescom?
No.
Oh yeah, Half-Life 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big old poster at Gamescom right now that says Half-Life 3, but everybody's like missing the fact that there's a colon there, and that colon 3 is to represent the 3 developers that like worked on the original Half-Life, and it's a like a documentary or something.
Seems like a very cheap gag.
It's like the biggest troll of all time.
Yeah, oh god, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
And it'll be all over IGN. IGN's gonna be like, we're gonna do a month of exclusive videos of Half-Life 3.
Jeez, stop! No, God.
We'll just make shit up because whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Basically that.
Oh, that's sad.
So anyway, thing that I want is I want the Rebel Galaxy guys to do one of two things. I want them to either say fuck it and throw the like give us the password that decrypts the damn asset files and let people just mod the bejesus out of that thing now. If not that, and preferably I would like them to do it, would be spin that game into a roguelike trading and surviving and whatever sandboxy game.
I'm honestly surprised it's not that mod friendly, given it's the same engine that they used to make Torchlight, right? Yeah. And that game was very mod friendly.
Yeah, so that's the thing is just basically they need to let the community have access to it somehow. But honestly, if they want my money, I will give them the money again. Um, you know, just take the story stuff out and add in the stuff that it needs to just become a trading and survival sim thing. You know, make a sandbox that I can just play forever in that thing. I mean that kind of already exists in uh, starts with a G.
Um,
Or no, what is that other space game? It's just like that, and they're working on the third one right now. War something.
oh,
Warlords.
oh, Starpoint Gemini Warlords.
Yeah, Gemini. See, starts with a G. Gemini. Yeah. So Starpoint Gemini is kind of that. If you turn the story crap off, you're sandboxing it, right? That's all I want.
But that's kind of what Warlords is, isn't it? Less story, more sandbox, more.
Right. The only thing is that I don't like the controls in that game as much as I like what goes on in Rebel Galaxy.
That's
I think
fair.
Rebel Galaxy is far better mechanic. So I mean, yeah, Gemini's got its own thing, right, and it's enjoyable for what it is. But that whole like turret view thing, no, I'm not a big fan.
We really just need limit theory. That's basically what we need. That'll answer all our prayers.
Yeah,
right? Is
Oh my
limit
God.
theory.
You know, let's start hyping that. Limit theory is going to let you land on planets and
stop
you're gonna have
it, stop
camera
it, stop
and you
it, stop
can
it.
Oh,
Stop it.
Jesus
Stop it.
Christ.
It's gonna be
Stop
Pokemon
it.
Snap
Stop
on
it.
Christ. Stop.
Jesus.
Okay, so that's
Sorry.
the mod. That's the mod I want for No Man's Sky. I want a camera, and I want to get paid for taking pictures.
Pokemon Snap, No Man's Sky mod.
Yep. Exactly. Well,
No man go. No man go.
No,
there you go. Right
walk
there.
up to a critter and you scan it.
You can
It
feed
tells
it.
you.
It's
It tells you everything about the critter, right?
Really?
It's like no, don't do that. Make me observe the critter, and I have to take a picture of it in the middle of a script. You know, like whenever it's scratching its ass or whatever, and then it's snap a picture, and then it's oh, this thing does this. Or whatever it's eating. Like I caught it eating. I took a picture of it while it was eating. Now we know what it eats. And
Chris
that goes
Holmes in chat said, somebody call Chris Roberts to make it now. Feature creep.
That's it, man. We're getting Squadron 42 photographer.
Squadron 42 recon pilot. That's what I would. I would play the shit out of that. I would play the shit out of a recon pilot game.
No guns.
No guns. Just a camera, sensors, a radio, and engines.
That's how I play MechWarrior. I get in a Locust, and I got a Beagle probe and a tag and a narc, and that's all I got. So, yeah.
Found you.
Snap your picture, and then people beat the shit out of you.
The missiles come from over the hill.
Dude, that happened to me the other night. It was like Rain of Death.
Yeah, we've been playing with a group of people now.
Yeah.
And now that we're in a group, when you get
the game is like times 10
people,
more fun.
Yeah, but it's times 10 harder because you get matched against other groups of people. So it's like we got 6 of us, and then there's like 6 random people, and then you look over on the enemy team, and it'll be like 2 groups of 6 with all the same clan tag on them, and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. And it usually is. Because,
although there was that one time it was a 12-man drop that we went up against and we smoked them.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It was just like, are these guys all new? This is their first day. They just like jumped in and started a clan or what? It was not good for them. But yeah, it's a hell of a better game when you got a dedicated group of people to play with. That's for damn sure.
What do we got next on the questions, Brian?
Dylan Nichols on Facebook asks, what are the hot space games on the market right now?
Listen to the podcast.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky and hey, Independence War just got on Steam.
What?
Get yourself that get yourself that 18-year-old gem on Steam.
Yeah, but I think the latest, just the craze, is No Man's Sky.
It is, yeah.
I can't think of anything that's really new.
Well, Master of Orion is coming out this week. It's leaving.
True.
It's leaving early access this week.
Yeah.
Halcyon is also leaving early access this week. The space station game, that's really good.
Oh, okay.
So that's leaving.
So what have you played Master of Orion lately?
I haven't played it. I haven't touched it in months. To be perfectly honest with you, I haven't touched it in a long.
That's about my hype level as
time.
well. It's just kind of like.
Once it comes out, I'll do a series of it, and I'll be like, okay, and then I might go back to Distant Worlds. I don't know.
Starbound just came out. That's right.
That's true.
1.0
Starbound
came out of early access.
This is true. This is very true. I think didn't something else come out recently? Shit.
A few weeks ago, but House of the Dying Sun came out.
Yep.
Wait, is that
is
that out of early access?
Yes.
What?
House of the Dying Sun? Yeah.
Yeah, it released them 2 months ago. Where you been?
I was super tempted by that during the sale, and I didn't bite, but I still feel like I want to.
Oh no, it's in early access still. Never mind.
Oh,
cancel.
Yeah, I was almost about to have a heart attack.
Oh.
I was like, oh my god, I should have covered it. Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, okay.
It's just you can buy it now. It was the early access just started it, I guess.
Yeah. So House of the Dying Sun's kind of a big deal. What
But
else?
not out of early access.
Yeah. Hey, so in your celebration stream, did you have that in your bulk key giveaway?
No, I don't. I don't have. I don't have a key for it actually. I did give away some keys though.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, folks, if you missed my yesterday on the calendar was the 5th anniversary of Space Game Junkie. I took the day off to do a long stream, and at one point, because I was using a camera app, at one point I was using
It was like 2 points.
It was like 1 or 2 points.
Maybe 4 points.
No, it wasn't that much.
Did you go back and delete that part of the video?
No.
Or it's just there forever?
It's just there forever.
Go now, folks.
Yeah, good luck finding it in a 4-hour video.
Dude, the internet, it has a way.
Chris, I did give a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I did give a bunch of stuff away. So yeah, I didn't realize that the codes that I were looking at were totally on the stream. Like live. Like two people, Hunter and this fellow Jacob from Poland were yelling at me, dude, we can see your keys. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Oh shit. It took me.
Then he moved him out of the little window into the big window, and then back to the little window again. And I was like, dude, just close the Excel file.
Yeah. That's okay. I might just not give those keys away to anyone now. I don't know. I wish there was a way you can test whether Steam keys worked or not.
Yeah, if you could tell if it was already redeemed without actually redeeming it yourself.
Yeah, that'd be really handy.
Yeah, well, what you could do is actually redeem all the keys as soon as you get them.
Put them and then gift them.
Put them in your gift box and then
in your inventory, right?
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
that's what I usually do.
And you don't lose it.
I'm gonna have to level up my Steam account then because it's full.
Time to play the cards.
Time to get that. What's that program that makes it look like that idler, that like makes the game run?
That's so shady.
I know. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. Let's see. What's the other hot shit right now? Oh God.
I'm looking back through Steam and I don't know. Independence War Deluxe Edition finally.
Yeah.
On Steam.
How could you look at what's come out on Steam? Oh, I guess new releases. Yeah.
Yeah. You just do all releases and you go back in time. I'm hacking back in time to the laser raptor.
Don't hack too much time.
God damn it! He hacked me back too far in time.
I mean, it's not new at all, but I recently started playing Off-World Trading Company.
Oh, so good.
And that's
so good. So good. So good, that game.
Popular new releases. Yeah.
I'm looking. I think
I'm
Void.
not seeing anything.
I think Void Destroyer 2 is going to be coming out soonish.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. RimWorld, I guess, came out recently, didn't it? Or is that still early access? That's early access still.
Yeah, I think RimWorld is still early access. It just finally hit Steam.
Yeah, so roguelike stuff has nothing to do with space, but Serial M2 just came out.
I'm totally getting that soon because
Did you get the first one?
The first game I have it on both PC and Android because you can do that. And it's got cross-platform saves, so it's so great.
Did you play some of it yet?
Serial M2, no, but Serial M1 I played. Yeah, I played the first one a good deal. It's a great little Pokemon JRPG roguelike thing. It's great. So I'm excited about the second one.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I guess there was this ILM X Lab Trials on Tatooine's that VR game.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm getting a little tired of? VR games that are just for VR. Yeah. It's like how many people have these things that you can sell your...
It's not only that, but it's not even really a game. It's an air quotes experience.
Yeah,
it's like about an hour's worth of entertainment, and then you're like, okay. It's the thing that you show. Basically, everything on the Oculus, other than flight sims and stuff, is like, hey, my friend came over, and now I can get my Oculus out and show him these demo things.
It's like, hey, here's weird tech demo that doesn't do anything useful.
Yeah, so many of them are just stupid, and yet they require... Like, there are a few space fighter games that came out that require a VR helmet.
Yeah.
Well, what's the one we were just talking about that wasn't...
There's one called Detached that's all VR, and I'm like, why is that just VR?
Yeah, I think you're really selling yourself short by limiting your install base to people who only own $600 or whatever headsets.
Yeah. Well, like House of the Dying Sun is I guess they recommend.
But he doesn't need it. It's not required, which is nice. That's how it should be. Because I
almost even wonder if the fact that they even just recommend it is stopping people from buying it. Because I think honestly that's what stopped me from picking it up on the Steam sale. I was like, I don't know. And
well, here's the deal. When I'm looking down the game list, if I see that little triangle that means VR, I just keep scrolling. I don't even look at it because it might support not VR, right? It needs to indicate very clearly that it's VR optional, not VR like built for VR. And then, because that's going to be a problem with consumers, right? It's like, I don't have an Oculus. I'm going to keep scrolling.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that Half Dead game came out of early access? You know, that co-op game show thing? We got to try that at some point.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, Brian. Case Animatronics is out. That is the game for you, brother.
What?
Case Animatronics.
What is that?
So it's a police game.
I guess the other game that came out recently that's pretty good is Concealed Intent. That came out of early access, and that game is fantastic. And hard. Very, very hard. But it's really good. But it's really hard. It's really hard. But yeah, that came out of early access earlier this month. So there you go. That's a good one.
Well, I think that's kind of exhausting it on that, to be honest with you. We
for the
next 2 hours.
Well, just wait. The Globemaster came out for Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 Steam Edition. $25 for one plane. That's hot, you guys. That's the new hotness.
To be fair, I have I have 3 copies of Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
What?
Keeps not. Well, because I guess I had the
joysticks.
I have 2, to be fair. No, I have the DVD version, but that doesn't install anymore.
What?
So that's why they have that. That's why they came out with this Steam edition. Yeah, the installer on the old Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 DVD doesn't work under, I think it's Windows 7 and up.
What?
Actually, the game will no longer install.
Come on.
So yeah, you have to get this Steam edition where they've tweaked it so that it'll actually run on, a modern Windows operating system. So unless you have a Windows XP machine floating around, which Brian, you probably do.
I'm sure somebody in the community made an installer by now.
Oh yeah. And then I think I picked it up. It was on sale for like $3 or something.
I like the Steam edition. They made some significant performance enhancements to that thing. And then the people who are working on whatever the heck it was called, the flight trainer game that came out, that's kind of like a demo of.
Right.
It's built on Flight Simulator X.
Is it?
And yeah.
But
it
cool.
is the highly upgraded version of FSX.
The last game I will mention, if you're watching the stream, you might be wondering what game is on there. It's called Boss Constructor. It's a procedurally generated spaceship building, exploration, and combat game. And the reason I'm showing a video of that is because it's on sale right now on the Steam weekly sale. It's great, and the guy updates it very often. He's a very dedicated developer. It's a really good game with lots of different modes. So just check that out. All right, what's the next question? Let's see. Oh, we can talk about this one till Judgment Day. Daniel Lynch on Facebook wants to know which games need to be remade.
Oh, this is why I'm on tonight.
yeah. So, Joe, TIE Fighter? X-Wing? Yeah, TIE Fighter?
Not
Clearly.
even TIE Fighter per se. I don't even know if we necessarily need like a remake of TIE Fighter, but I want a modern Star Wars space sim, and a space sim, not like
not like Jedi Starfighter, not something like that.
We're talking about like a true space sim,
Yeah.
like TIE Fighter or X-Wing, but modernized.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's close to that, and I'm surprised by it? I never played the Rogue Squadron games on the GameCube until recently because I got a Wii, and
They're very similar.
They are. I was shocked at how X-Wingy they are.
Because you can totally go first person on them too.
Yeah, you can go first person. You have like some power stuff you can handle and stuff. It's like way more detailed than I originally thought it would be.
Yeah, it's funny because for the longest time, I thought that Rogue Squadron was a sequel to I thought it was Rebel Assault 3.
No.
But it's not. It's not at all. It's totally not that. But for years, I never played them because I'm like, oh god, I can't handle that. My nerves can't take more Rebel Assault type gameplay.
Oh god, no.
But it's not.
I thought it would, specifically to mod it so that it would play GameCube games, and then just stuck all the Rogue Squadron stuff on there, and it's great.
Available on
you cannot emulate it. It just does not.
No. The crazy thing about the way Factor 5 did what they did with the N64 with Rogue Squadron 1 and then with the GameCube with 2 and 3 is that they pushed the limits of what those consoles actually could do. Like they used every resource imaginable, and so like you go and read any of the forums for the Dolphin emulator guys, and it's just like the constant thing that they're trying to figure out is how are they going to actually get Rogue Squadron 2 and 3 to work properly. Like you can get them to work kind of, but they're janky. They're janky as hell on an emulator. And which is weird because you would think like, with the rest of the fact that you can emulate Wii games and GameCube games all day long on like the Dolphin emulator, you cannot for the life like emulate Rogue Squadron 2 or 3. It's crazy.
There's too much custom stuff in there and kind of dedicated to the hardware that they probably.
So like what Jim said, like the best way to really do it is just to get like a Wii, like one of the first or second gens that still had the GameCube ports on it.
Yeah.
And then just soft mod it and then grab the ISOs from somewhere. Not saying that we condone this, but we're just saying that you can do it.
If one were to desire.
It must have the door on the top that's got the 4 controller ports.
I got one of those. It's at my parents' house. I gotta get it back.
Happen. Yeah. You can totally make it happen. You need a flash memory card and about 10 minutes.
Really?
You can open it.
Oh, it's so easy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I sit out there and play Atari 2600 games on it. It's got, you do whatever the hell you want at this point. Yep.
And I got to get that thing back. I gave it to my dad so we could watch Netflix.
Can you
it's a great little emulator box. Like it's
it'll play it'll play all my Super Nintendo. I can run Genesis stuff.
Can you send me a link on how to do that? Because I've got that. I've got that.
We don't know where to do any of this.
Okay.
But I bet if you
it's not legal. You're right.
And creatively searched, then you would find.
I will do that.
There's only
by
specific
typing a sentence into Google.
There are only specific flash cards that will work. So you have to be very careful about which one you buy.
Oh, geez.
It cost me like $5 at Walmart, so I'm not crying.
Oh, geez.
And I've been told once you do it, it's awesome. Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm a little wary of doing it, but I might as well. I mean, I'm mostly only using it for like a couple of Wii games and mostly GameCube games.
You know what else is really sick?
What's that?
Is you can use a program called TriDef. And if you had a Google Cardboard, and you use TriDef, then you can take any game that's on your screen in 3D and split it to stereoscopic and throw it to your Google Cardboard, right? The only thing stopping me from doing this is you got to root your phone, and I'm having trouble with that. So it's because it's like I do it over the Wi-Fi, but it's a little bit laggy. But if you hook it up with the USB cable and feed the video up that way, you get much better bandwidth, and it's better. So that's the thing holding me back. But I also found where you can buy a 1080p 6-inch screen that has an HDMI port. So it's basically like a little monitor about the size of a phone. And it is a legit computer monitor. It's like $150. So I'm gonna take one of those and put it in my cardboard thing, and then it's a legit monitor, and I don't have to do any transformation of anything, right? And then I've got a Ghetto Rift right then. So, and because what I do with it, I don't play these gimmick games. I go back and play Skyrim, or Fallout, or stuff like that.
Can confirm Skyrim with a Rift is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Skyrim has Rift. It has Rift support.
No, it has third-party Rift support. Like there's like a third-party person who's made it work. So
yeah, well, that's I think the thing they are missing the boat on the VR thing is they need to make it back compatible with everything you already own, and they're like, well, if it goes under 90 frames, you'll puke. I don't care. Give me the option. Let me try.
That's my problem. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I was playing Fallout New Vegas at like 20 frames a second on this thing, and I didn't get nauseous. So apparently I'm immune, and I would like all my games on there, please. Thank you. Oh, the other thing that you can do with TriDef that's awesome is if you have a Sony 3D TV in your living room and you have no idea what to do with it, well, hook your PC up to it, run TriDef, and you can split every PC game you own into stereo. And you put those little 3D glasses on, and you're gaming in the living room in 3D. Boom. Just saying.
Sweet.
I think I do want to learn how to mod my my Wii, though. That sounds... Oh, God. Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
They should have called it the Nintendo Tinkle.
I want to mod my Wii, you guys. I want to make it a bigger and better Wii.
There's emails that you get for that every once in a while in your spare time.
What's our next question, Brian?
One sec. Thurlon on Broken Forum says, let's talk about good and bad tropes in space and science fiction games, and he gives some examples.
Such as?
Planets that are a single type of planet, like a desert planet or a jungle planet, like a village. Yeah, that does...
Lucas-style planets.
Yeah, like a planet
Single
where it
biome,
has the one city, and that's like the only thing on the really.
Yeah, it's like, what if Coruscant was actually Cybertron?
That's coming out soon, by the way. The 30th anniversary of the Transformers the movie Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh my!
I have it pre-ordered. I'm so excited.
I have the touch.
Do you have the power? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point because
it is
I think like with what was it? You see that a lot in sci-fi movies too, where and even on like Star Wars, like Clone Wars and stuff like that. They get to a planet, it's just like they're always like going to one same spot. Like there's nothing else really on the planet, and planets are huge. You know, there's a lot going on.
But they're just going to that one jungle. They're just going to that one jungle.
We learned how this works in Space Quest because the entire planet has to fit on the soundstage.
Right.
At Sierra Studios.
I forgot about that. But yeah, that is an annoying trope. Another one
not necessarily always annoying because like you occasionally running into that one desert planet, but it is a thing that is really irritating to me when I play Sins of a Solar Empire. You can't like colonize certain types of planets until you research like how to colonize barren planets, and you're like, what?
You gotta make domes and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I like about Predestination is that you start off with a planet, but the planet isn't all uniform, and you have to build your shit up on a planet before you can even go into space. and you have to make cities and
I think
stuff.
Hunter said it right, kind of in passing. Like you can have an ice planet because it's too far from the star. You can have a
Right.
barren planet because it doesn't have an atmosphere. But anything aside from that, you're gonna have some biome, some biodiversity.
Exactly. And it's just kind of annoying. Let's see where are some of these other tropes.
That's why I need biodiversity.
Let's see. Cultures that only have a defining single characteristic that applies to all its members. Both Earth and humanity are wildly varied. Having other worlds and cultures be super one-dimensional is lazy.
Okay, so here's
yes and
one.
no.
How about Earth? How many different currencies are there on Earth? And we see what's going on with Europe. Whenever you try to make all the countries in Europe use the same currency, it takes away the financial adjustments that countries could do with their currency. So you tend to end up in a really bad kind of fiscal situation if anybody gets weak, because then they fail because they can't just like quantitative ease their way out of it. So imagine that we have a 4X game with a bajillion planets, and my entire empire is on the exact same exchange rate. We have a common currency across 100 planets, right? How dangerous is that crap? Because and also, how do you even have a trade system like that? Because these planets are going to have completely different economies, and things are regionally driven by natural resources and stuff. So I don't dig that very super simplified economy. When yes, you have multiple, it's like you have a planet. Just the planet itself to have a unified government is a hell of a feat, unless you settle it from nothing, right? But if it's an established planet and then you try to unify the government, that's
Well, here's an interesting thing though. Like, you can take Star Trek as a great example of this. Like, currencies. I was watching some stuff like with Deep Space Nine, for example. Like, currencies are varied across several species because you'll have like your regional type of credit, which is like your standard like credit unit that is like recognized by a lot of different species. But then you have like some that will only accept gold pressed platinum, for example, or some that will only accept this form of currency. And so there's got to be like an exchange rate with that. So sometimes there's been that you've seen in the Star Trek kind of realm, but also to tie into like the one planet with like the uniformed culture. If you look at something like Vulcan, for example, they've talked about the Vulcan culture and a lot in different various Star Trek forms. And they came from a very interesting way of life, being that they were dealing with their emotions a lot. But when they figured out how to repress their emotions to stabilize their species, so to speak, or at least some have said it's actually hurt their species, but there's also been like the offshoot factions that there's like the different sects that believe that it's supposed to be done in different ways.
And then there's Cybok, who I dearly love.
Right, and then there was Cybok. He was the Vulcan that kind of believed in emotion, but they also explored a little bit of the Vulcans that believed in emotion and Enterprise as well. They ran across the ship that had the Vulcans that believed in emotions and actually believed in exploring their emotions.
And they infected T'Pol.
And they infected T'Pol. That's right. And
What?
it was also supposed to be the first instance of mind melds. I guess is that we were supposed to see in the Star Trek.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be like a very taboo thing.
Right, like mind melds were very taboo up until then, and then they kind of like started coming back again.
Yeah, but that's bullshit because, well, okay, I guess it was like a generation later. Yeah, because it
came before the original series.
Right, but like when Spock was young, right, like 10 years old or whatever, right? He got betrothed to T'Pau, and the way they do their wedding ceremony, T'Pau, right in the
T'Bam, T'Zap.
Yeah, so the way they do what?
So they would the wedding ceremony is basically the bride and groom have a mind meld, right? And that wouldn't be like, hey, let's have this rich tradition that just started 5 years ago, right?
When was that shown?
Check
though?
Memory Alpha.
Is it supposed to be a mind meld?
Yeah,
because I know they do
that's
like
what it says on Memory Alpha. Memory Alpha does not lie. Although it may have been referenced elsewhere, like in Trek, right, where they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember this history thing," or maybe it was in a book or whatever. See, what I found, because we were doing the research today, right? I don't know if you were, but I was, and Alex was, where we're trying to figure out. Yeah, he was digging hard, man, because they said this new Star Trek Discovery show takes place immediately before Kirk gets the Enterprise. So,
like a 10 years, something like that.
Yeah. 5 years, yeah, 5
like
years.
5 years or whatever. So we're looking in that time range, and it's like, what the hell happened? And we're scouring Memory Alpha. I can't really find anything super exciting that happened, really. So it's like, it's not like, oh yeah, the Romulan War happened or something, right?
That was way before.
There was one thing that happened with Kirk where they got attacked because Kirk, before he got his command post, he was a phaser gunner on some ship, the Farragut, I think, and that ship had some stuff happen. But you're on the Discovery, not the Farragut. So, but maybe it was involved in the same incident. I don't know. But that's how Kirk got his promotion, because he was like a hero in that incident.
Interesting.
Which was not at all covered, of course, in the new Star Trek stuff.
Right, and that's what they said. It's something that's mentioned very in passing in TOS or something like that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying, oh, it's Battle of Axanar, and that's why they sued Axanar, and blah, 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 which is...
Yeah, but Axanar was, like, way before that, though.
Yeah, it was like a generation. That was, like, I guess, closer to Enterprise than it was to TOS.
Yeah, it's basically where the ships became the modern style that we know now.
Mm-hmm.
So, another thing that they were saying, right? In the article about that, the director or the showrunner or whoever the hell the guy was they were talking to, that's at the top of the food chain on this thing, he said that they have redesigned that ship. That was just a placeholder thing, just to test it. But they said the new version is very much going to be, Enterprise 2. It's still inspired by the Macquarie design. It's just they've continued to refine it. But they also said, like, okay, so Star Trek has gone, like, the stuff that we can do on TV now is way beyond, like, what we could do in Next Gen and stuff like that. So we're going to reboot the ships again. And so Star Trek's going to look completely different now. And it's like, okay, maybe good. I don't know.
I mean, in a way, you can make them look cooler but still be reminiscent. Like, you have to have, like, the nacelles and something like that. Like, I don't know. It doesn't have to look. It doesn't have to have a neck and a secondary hull and all that stuff. But
right, and the nacelles look like the tail lights from a Ford Falcon, which is pretty awesome.
Needs more tail fins.
Oh, dude.
Needs more Winnebago. That's what
shuttlecraft could look like the 1960s Batmobile.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be some atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed.
It totally needs an emergency bat turn lever. and a parachute and drag chutes.
And grappling hooks out the sides.
Have you seen some of the cars where people have found whatever the original car was, an Impala or something, but they found those cars and then they have restored them into Batmobiles. And they are perfect reproductions of that freaking Batmobile, to the point where they actually have labels on the dashboard of, like, here's the Bat flamethrower or whatever. And yeah, the one guy
ran like when people find DeLoreans and make the Back to the Future car.
There's really nothing else to do with one. Yeah.
No, really. It won't drive anywhere. So.
Yeah, you can get them, like, ridiculously cheap. And
didn't I read somewhere that they're remaking the DeLorean? Like, he's coming out and, like, they're gonna actually make, like, a modern DeLorean.
That I seem to have heard something about that. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they found, like, a big stash of cocaine and they figured out how to remanufacture it.
The car won't work unless there's cocaine in the doors.
Well, that was the problem they had with it. It was like this first self-driving car, but it just followed the white line down the side of the road.
Oh God!
Wow, wow.
Yeah, and
truly,
in I think in 2017, there it's like there's a CNN thing. It says DeLorean's coming back to the future. Check your calendar and your bank accounts. Plans are underway to start building and selling DeLoreans next year for the first time in more than 30 years.
Yeah, better be self-driving because that's the future. All right. Whenever I have to get on the Beltway, and I think Brian would appreciate this too because you have a pretty saucy commute too. Like, can you imagine that LA traffic if all the cars were self-driving and they were just like perfect? They just tailgated each other by like 6 inches, never slowed down.
It's never happening. It's never happening.
Good rubberneck. Just not being able to slow traffic by rubberneck.
It's never happening in LA. Never happening. Yeah. Never in a million years, ever.
Everyone loves their cars too much.
No, dude. California can legislate stupid. It can happen.
What are you saying? What are you saying about California? What are you saying?
I'm just saying that they.
Where do you live again? North Carolina. Where do you live again?
Yeah. Hey, man.
Voting rights laws. Hello, shut up. Don't fuck with my state. Don't try.
I'm not bitching about it. I'm saying that California is the place that could get it done, right? Because
you're the crazy state, Brian. Remember, you're the crazy ones.
The out there wild ones.
You know what?
Everyone's too afraid of their freedom going away.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna have.
Bars. Soon to be no drinking and no talking. Everyone's gonna go to the library. It'll be a grand old time.
No,
I don't know where your fucking book is, man.
Could be anywhere.
The Republicans are going to ditch the NRA and go with the AAA. Like, they're coming to take our cars, and they're going to get like the ghost of Charlton Heston out and. Liberals, they're taking our cars because they're weapons.
So what's next on the old question list there, Bragg?
Well, we have some other tropes that this gentleman brought up that we can look at. Basically, being small. Basically, when your soap opera is about a family of 5 people that interact with 10 other people, it's not really a space opera. That's
what?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I think Star Wars is always about the Skywalkers, and so yeah, it's like your big expansive story.
Hey, Ace, come on in.
Did you hear that the episode 8 script apparently leaked?
No, I don't care. I was thinking of Ezri Dax when you go meet her family, her mafioso family.
Yeah.
In season 7 of Deep Space Nine. Because they wanted you to love Ezri Dax, god damn it. Anyway.
I like Ezri.
I don't have a problem with Ezri. I kind of wish they would have left that hole, though. But I don't envy that actress who had to fill in those admittedly big shoes to fill.
Well, think about this though. Dax is actually the most progressive character that's ever been on Star Wars or Star Trek. Because many times transsexual has been everything. Has probably been like some third sex we don't even know about.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably. So there you go.
No, we all love Dax. We even kind of like Ezri.
Yeah. This is what we talked about. I've talked about this on my Star Wars show a while back. And, I guess we were talking about Stranger Things, and we're kind of like, we're getting to the point where TV shows don't need to have like 24 episodes per season. And then you drop those like Dax's family, Molly going into the future and coming back as a cave woman, move along home. Like, those don't happen.
That one is a weird episode.
Which one? Move Along Home?
No. The Molly coming back as a weird cave woman.
Oh, yeah, that one was weird.
That was one of the, as the writers like to term, O'Brien must suffer episodes.
Yes.
Because O'Brien's the most human of them all, literally and figuratively. And so they had to fuck him up at least once a season.
He was tortured like multiple times.
Nothing beats the one where he was in jail in his head for 25 fucking years.
Well, that's not as bad as Picard living a whole lifetime.
But that was a good life. That was the thing. That was a good life. He had a good life.
That's true. What was the one I was thinking of though, where they get stranded on a planet, like it was like a time like difference or whatever, and it was like all of their descendants, and he was like, and he was all like upset about the fact that he shacked up with someone else or whatever. It like drove him miserable.
He loves his wife, even though she's a horrible bitch like the entire series.
Oh, Keiko's not bad. It's just the two actors had no chemistry. Like none. Like absolutely zero. The only time Keiko was interesting was when that alien was inhabiting her and like threatening, I'm going to kill Keiko if you don't do what I say. holding a knife to her own throat.
Or the time Worf gave birth to their daughter.
You may now give birth.
Yeah, it is time.
Push, Kiko, push. I am pushing.
You are doing well.
Yes, Keiko did a much better job as Klinger's wife on
that. That birth was very orderly. Damn, Worf. Damn.
What if Klingon birthing was basically like the male comes up and headbutts her in the stomach and the baby comes just pops out.
It's probably how it does work.
Shoots across the room and the doctor's over there with a catcher's mitt.
No joke, that almost happened to my brother.
Oh my.
The doctor told my mom to push like a little bit, and she thought she did, and the guy ended up catching my brother like a football, and the doctor got like pale white, and yeah, he was like not happy. Talk about fumbles, huh?
Talk about a baby missile. Wow.
But yeah, they love fucking with O'Brien on Deep Space Nine, which I love. So let's see some decent tropes that this guy likes. Precursor races. That does happen a lot.
Wait, I got one I got to bitch about before we get out of the bad things.
A trope? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Why do you make me play half the game before you give me my lightsaber? You bastard. Every Star Wars game ever.
You gotta earn that.
Oh, I'm a Jedi. Here's a stick.
Not always. Did you ever play
Jedi Academy gave it to you right away, but that was it.
Jedi Academy gave it to you right away. What was the one where you played the hunter? Like you were like the Jedi hunter.
Force Awakening? Unleashed?
Force Unleashed. That's the one.
I never played that one. Apparently, I heard it was terrible.
It wasn't.
First one's good. Second one was less good.
Yeah. Yep.
Except for the Star Destroyer sequence.
Especially the new Lego Star Wars. It's superior. Just saying. It's got better space combat than Elite.
All right, let's see. This gentleman Thurlon really apparently hates time travel. Apparently, he says it ruins everything. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I don't agree.
I think it needs to be used carefully.
In video games, it's really hard to pull off, but
I'm trying to think of like a time travel video game.
Millennia Altered Destinies.
Okay.
Amazing game. Amazing game. What was that?
Super Time Force.
What's that? What's that?
It uses the time mechanic, right? So you're in a fight, and what you can do is spin back time and then join yourself in the fight. So you can like gang up on a boss with yourself.
Oh, I've seen this. It's one of those Adult Swim games. It looks pretty fun. But folks, if you haven't played Millennium Altered Destinies, just throw it out there. It's a game from 1995 where you're supposed to help 4 races defeat like a Borg-like race, but you have to seed them and guide them through time so they'll not only survive, but research the tools you need to get home and defeat everything. And so you have to jump back and forth in time to help solve their problems. It's great.
I'm writing that down. That sounds like a game I can cover.
It is.
Steam here. There's a tag in Steam for time travel. And there's one called Paradox Paragram, which I am not familiar with.
What?
And then there's a VR game, of course, called Time Machine.
Oh, jeez.
There's time travel with your dad's simulator.
Well, I don't know what Ceres is, but apparently it's a time travel game.
Joe, I posted a link to Millennia in the Skype channel. You can't get it. Sadly, you cannot get it digitally, but it's relatively cheap to get on disc, and it runs on DOSBox right out of the bat.
Score.
Right out of the bat. And yeah, it's a DOS game, so you can totally cover it. Yeah, at Take-Two, and it's really great. You have a ship AI that's kind of surly, kind of sassy, and the game itself is really just fantastic.
Speaking of ship AIs.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's another trope, I guess.
Yeah. Ship AIs are. So they did that voice pack with Shatner, right?
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, why don't we have a Neil deGrasse Tyson voice pack? But
give it time.
Yeah, but not specifically in Elite. I mean, Elite does an amazing job of letting you fly around and get to phenomena and stuff, right? But let's make it more like a Star Trek game, because when he was doing his Cosmos show, remember he had like, we're on the spaceship of the imagination and we're gonna fly out here and look at this black hole or whatever, and then I'm gonna talk to you about black holes. Well, what about this? How about you have a spaceship and you fly out and you do science missions, right? And it's like you actually perform the experiments. Like, all right, let's cruise to the whatever they call it, the event horizon of the black hole, and then we're gonna just tip an asteroid in there and see what happens, right? Stuff like that. Let's like drop a thing on the moon and see how big a crater it makes because moon gravity and whatever. But it could be like doing things, right? But then you have Neely Tai as the ship's computer that narrates the science lesson that you're participating in. And then what we do is we have slipped the children an accidental education that they didn't even realize they got.
I'm surprised they haven't done that already. They probably will.
It's because it's waiting on a genius like me to come along and figure it out. Yeah, see.
Like who? So,
what? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. But anyway, no. It just there are games out there now, like Kerbal Space Program, right?
Teaching kids about physics.
Yeah,
absolutely.
God, I feel like I know about orbital mechanics a lot more than I used to.
You get into orbit once successfully in Kerbal Space Program. You know more about orbital mechanics than maybe 70%, 80% of the population.
So why don't we have Neil deGrasse Kerbal in the game, who actually pops up and explains orbital physics and stuff while you're doing things, and could give like bullshit history about the Kerbal Space Program.
There's got to be a mod.
There has to be, man. I mean, the Kerbal stuff should be like The Simpsons. They should have every celebrity as a Kerbal that makes some appearance.
I do see images of Neil Kerman and stuff.
Really? That's my avatar. I gotta go find one.
Hang on. What was that, Hunter?
This is crazy. I just figured out a way, like in Google, where it shows you your Steam purchases. That's creepy.
How does it do that?
Oh, we're not going to go into it right now.
Okay, that does sound.
I wonder if it just goes through your Gmail if you're logged in and finds all the.
It's quite possible.
All the thank you for purchasing from Steam.
So let's see. Where's some? Let's see. Weird ways of travel. Basic warp is fine. This is another trope, but challenge of the speed of light is an opportunity as well. Fictional technologies and laws of nature need you to invent and enhance other areas of your world. I don't know what he's saying, but then again, I'm hungover, so I don't know.
Well, there's a mechanic, right, for time pressure in a game.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, you're gonna go out and explore, and if you fly around too much, when you come back, everybody's dead. So you should probably hurry up.
Oh, you mean the space-time dilation?
Yeah.
Like on that movie Interstellar or whatever?
Right. But what they should do, they should have a service where they actually freeze your friends and family. Like whenever you go off in space, they just put everybody in suspended animation, keep them on ice till you get back.
That's really selfish. Like, hey guys, I want to go into space. Time to put your lives on hold. Sorry. It's just...
Yeah.
The ship only holds one. Sorry, guys. You're going on ice for at least a couple 100 years. Enjoy. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, these tropes are dumb. I think I'm about done. I think those are all the questions we were submitted. We could save the storytelling topic for another time because I'm falling asleep. I drank so much wine last night, like way too much wine. Way too much wine. And I've been hungover on a wine hangover all day. And I don't know if you've ever had a wine hangover, but it's one of the worst types of hangovers.
It's like an after party guest that doesn't know when to go home.
It's exactly like that. The only worst hangover I've had is you guys have seen Firefly, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I went to a Firefly themed party a while back where someone made alcoholic mother's milk to the best of their ability. It was the worst hangover I ever had because I got drunk on mother's milk, and I'm not going to go into detail, but it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Well, that's what happens when you find the crappy town where you're a hero.
This must be what going mad feels. Nice. This must be what going mad feels like. I swear, everywhere I go, his eyes are following me. I need to do a rewatch. It's been so long. I need to do a rewatch.
It's wonderful, but it just makes you sad when you very quickly get to the end and realize there's none left.
But that, you know what, some people, and I kind of agree, have said that show, and I'm not saying it like Trump says it. Some people have said that that show might have been the show's saving grace.
It might have gotten
it might have had a Buffy season 6 or an Angel season 4. You know,
bring it back on Netflix.
I don't know if you saw, someone released a trailer today for a fan-made trailer for Firefly the animated series.
So apparently this guy just does that, and
he makes fan art. It's not a real trailer, but I mean that'd be the best way to bring it back. Guy? No. He's actually
like that TIE Fighter trailer thing. That was amazing.
That was amazing. But no, this guy's been making like fan art, Firefly fan art for like a decade, and so he put some animation together. No, he sells his pieces sell for a lot of money, and they sell. They sell.
Get a job, you bum.
You're not going to live on art. So let's close this up. Joe, remind folks where they can find your awesome stuff.
You can find me over at the Upper Memory Block podcast at umbcast.com, where I used to say once every 2 weeks, but now it's once whenever I get around to it, usually about once a month. I talk about a game from the DOS and pre-Windows XP gaming era, both space games and other. Next episode coming out on is going to be on, I'm never sure how to say this. It's either Tyrion or Tyrion, which is a really, really awesome shoot 'em up.
I always say Tyrion, but yeah, that game, I think you can get it for free on GOG, right?
Yeah, it open sourced around 04.
Yeah, so you can totally get it for free on GOG, and it's great, you guys. It's great.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. And yeah, I think like when you create a GOG account, it's in your account. It's just
Oh, really? They do that now? Oh, that's great. That's really sweet of them. I love GOG so much.
Welcome. Here's some games.
That's really actually pretty awesome of them. Like, I can't say enough good things about GOG, you guys. If you don't have an account there, get one. So yeah, Joe, you have an awesome podcast. You talk about awesome games. And you're going to be back on in about a month to talk about old hardware. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully your internet will work that night. And I need to figure out how to...
This was a good test run.
And I need to figure out how to use virtual audio cable so I can get the MT32 and SC55 going on the stream. So you guys can also hear it.
How'd you do it last time?
I didn't do it at all. I didn't do it at all. I didn't even do it because I can't figure out virtual audio cable yet.
But you did do a stream where you played some stuff.
Well, yeah, but that was just going through the PC. If I do it just playing through the PC, the folks on the stream will hear it, but you guys won't be able to hear it. Big difference.
Complicated.
Yeah, it makes it much more complicated. So I got to figure that out. But Thursday, guys, we're having an in-game meetup in Elite Dangerous. We're meeting at Tumbao Station in Orcas around 5 o'clock Pacific time. And we're going to probably hit some resource extraction zones or some anarchy systems. Figure out maybe some kind of race or something. And if you can come into Cobra Mark III, not Mark IV, because those are piles of shit, Mark III, best ship in the game, then yes, you want to join us for that Thursday at 5 o'clock. What the fuck is on next week? I think next week we're having the Imperia fella back on. Remember we were supposed to have him on a while back, but he had a death in the family. Yeah, Imperia is like Crusader Kings in space. You know? We had him on a long, long time ago. And we were supposed to have him on about a month ago, but a family member died. So that was sad. But yeah, we're having him on next week. And so, yeah, so lots of stuff coming up. So thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And to everyone who joined me for my full day of streaming yesterday, thank you again. Joe, you showed up for a little bit of that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And so did you, Hunter.
I was around.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I was just at work. I didn't need to actually do anything, so I could pay attention to your stream.
I got to be honest, I wish that Jacob guy was in the U.S. so we could add him on as a fourth co-host, because he was fantastic. He was absolutely
We'll just bring
fantastic.
him on for the Euro shows.
But
when you're recording at 6 a.m., he's
your European.
But they happen so infrequently and so inconsistently.
Not lately.
That's true.
Well.
Anyway, so thank you everyone for watching and for listening, and don't forget, if you want me in front of the camera more often, head to patreon.com and chip in something. We just reached another goal, thanks to a very generous patron, where now we're going to do monthly meetups.
Hey, what about
monthly patron meetups?
Patreons, right, where people can vote. It's like throw $1 in this one if you want Brian on camera, and throw $1 in that one if you never want to see us. And that way you get $1 from everybody, no matter what their opinion is. And you can call the 900 number to vote for your favorite star. And do they still do that shit on TV?
I think they still do marathons, like telethons and shit like that. I think they do.
I meant like the talent shows, right, where it's like call and vote for your favorite singer.
Oh, isn't that
07?
Yeah, isn't that America Online? Yeah, American Idol. Isn't that still?
I haven't watched TV in about 5 years. So.
Yeah,
I don't think American Idol's on anymore.
It's not?
I thought it was over.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I think The Voice is a far better show from what I've seen of it.
Jeremiah on YouTube says 900 numbers still exist, apparently, which blows my mind. Like, what? Like, what's some 900 numbers? I gotta find this. 1 second.
1-900 hot something.
Oh, God. Premium rate phone numbers. Oh, my God. Oh my God!
It's still a thing.
It is still a thing. I'm looking at a page about it on the FCC right now.
You should just set up a 900 number that's also a voicemail box, and you just play the voicemails back on the show. It's like they paid $5 to say this, so we're gonna play it.
Yeah, 1-800 Space Junkie. I know it's too many numbers, but don't worry about it. 1-800 Space Junkie.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, guys, thank you for watching and listening.
Thanks for calling Space Talk. Go ahead.
Caller line 1, you're on the air.
Long time listener, first time caller. Hey, Brian.
All right. Good night, everyone.